Rabbi Dr. Elie Abadie, Elder Dr. Dale Renlund, and Shaykh Dr. Asim Yusuf discuss how religious dietary practices affect health.
The health practices of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints are relatively simple. They stem from a revelation from 1833 that encouraged the use of fruits, vegetables, and grains, the minimal use of meat, and the avoidance of things that are harmful, such as tobacco, alcohol, coffee and tea, and other harmful substances. It's very clear that these practices do lead to greater life expectancy, but these benefits, these blessings, if you will, are applicable to any who choose to practice that, not just those of my faith, but anyone who chooses to do that.
First and foremost, as many of us know already, Judaism has a special laws of kashrut, of kosher food. And those laws of kashrut are very, very specifically geared towards a healthier life. Even if we begin, but what kind of animals we could eat as Jews? We can only eat animals that really graze, that do not eat other animals, animals that are not predators, animals that do not attack other animals. We're only allowed to eat fish that has scales and fins. They have to have both at the same time. We're not allowed to eat any other type of seafood. And usually fish that have scales and fins are not attack fish. It's a fish that is very, very healthy. And it's a fish that is not at the surface of the ocean, nor at the bottom of the ocean. It's a fish that it's almost in the middle part of the ocean. And that is because that is the cleanest part. Secondly, when we slaughter the animal, the cattle that needs to be slaughtered, we do it in a very, very humane way. The knife has to be very, very sharp and has to be done at once without any delay, not to allow the animal to suffer. We have to make sure that the whole blood that the animal has is completely drained. And as we know, blood can carry a lot of diseases, a lot of bacteria, viruses, and all kind of other disease. We have to drain the animal completely. We do not mix meat and milk together. We do not eat them together. We do not cook them together. And in fact, when we eat meat, we have to wait like 6 hours before we could eat dairy products. And again, the reason is it has been known scientifically that the stomach and the intestine digest differently meat products than dairy products. And so when you mix both of them together, you are confusing a little bit your intestines and the form of digestion. So as you can see, the kosher laws in Judaism really are made to create a healthier body and also a healthier mind.
It's quite well known that as in the Jewish faith, the Muslim faith has certain restrictions on the types of food you can eat and the types of food that you can't. Those tend to be relatively minor restrictions. But what's probably more important from a religious perspective actually is the great deal of advice from the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings upon him, about moderation of one's appetites, control of one's appetites, eating a largely vegetarian diet, eating and leaving intervals between how much you eat and how frequently you eat. So for example, the Prophet, peace and blessings upon him, said that the stomach should be filled a third with food, a third with liquid, and a third should be left so that you can breathe. That is to say, don't overeat to the point that you are stuffed up to right up to here. Additionally, there is a lot of wisdom about the type of food that you eat. For example, eating dates, eating honey, some of these things which have been explicitly linked by the Prophet, peace and blessings upon him, to one's health and one's well-being. At the same time, practices like the 30-day fast of the month of Ramadan that most Muslims would do unless they have significant health conditions would equally serve as an opportunity to restrict one's caloric intake, to rebalance and find sort of a homeostasis or the balance of the physical body and its nutrients and its systems, in terms of a 30-day detoxification, if you like.